Right. Yeah, that's fine. You're good.
And now we'd like to introduce.
That's me. What is the name of this?
What is
Burger.
Oh my
Burger.
God.
It's a burger.
You get these from
burger.
that. You get these plates from Wetherspoons.
I genuinely think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed that
My
there's
friend told me that.
various ones in the kitchen where I'm like, I've seen these in foods.
Man off Marin Heart, ketchup and mayonnaise.
Lift that up for
Ketchup
champions.
Yeah. Oh, it's alright.
That's from the White Horse in Burnham Green.
Come to the White
The White
Horse
Horse.
in Burnham Green for a nice cheeseburger and chips for $13.50.
Good beers too.
Hello, welcome back to Football United TV. We are all here now, 4 of us. Aston Villa fan, Biils, Dan, Arsenal fan,
Really?
Joe, Spurs fan, and me, of course, Man United. We was going to ask, actually, before we start, how are you all doing?
Very well, thank
that's
you.
very polite, isn't it?
You know, yeah, I feel a little bit underdressed. This is Villa's 4th from 1986. The year I was born. There we go, perfect. I used to wear hoodies back then, you know.
And this is the Tottenham itchy Christmas jumper that came out last year that I'm regretting because I feel so hot
You know what?
under all these lights.
I love it. I think
Don't
it's
flatter
brilliant.
yourself, Joe. Too much.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I think it's great.
Full of the festive cheer though. Matt.
How are you, by the way, Nat? You alright?
I'm really good. I'm glad that you've all come. And what's really on my mind right now is what I want to ask you about what happened last night. Because obviously Liverpool will be disappointed in some sort of sense because they put their youth team out, but you won 5-0 against them in the Carabao Cup.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Was that their first loss of the season, or did they lose in Europe?
That is the... Oh! Now that's a very good
Anyone?
question.
You should have checked that before.
We really
we
should have
started.
checked this one first.
We're gonna say that's Liverpool's first loss of the
First loss of the
season.
season.
To an English team.
Domestically.
To an English
In the
team.
English
Domestically, there we go.
domestic, yeah.
But honestly,
No, in the world, I think we're going to go with the world.
It's still the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Why not?
Well,
This
it was
season.
good, and we've got to remember, you know, obviously we can't gloat about this too much. The score was a little bit unfair. It was against a bunch of youngsters, and they actually played really well. That Harvey Elliott actually looks amazing. I think he's still 16 years old, but he's got all the confidence and all the tricks and all the know-how.
He actually reminds me a bit of a Jack Grealish.
You know what? There's something there, yeah. And he's just fearless, you know. He really goes for it, not intimidated. But we had our second team out, but they're experienced professionals. The Liverpool kids are going to get the taste of the men's game a bit more, you know, etc., etc. But Jonathan Kodja, who's our backup striker, who I think he's come with a sub maybe once or twice this season, but he's not getting the games. He scored a hat-trick yesterday. No, he didn't. The first goal he lost in the end.
He got at least a brace.
He got the brace, but there was debate on the first goal. In the end, it was Conor Horahan's. But I don't know. At the end of the day, you can't blow, but it was a win during a difficult period. If you look at our form, we haven't won a game in the last 4. It's been 5 games since we won. You know, before then, looking at the league, etc. So we'll take it in the semi-final. There's big teams left in there. City are playing Oxford tonight, so unless something incredible that we maybe should be watching right now happens.
You know Colchester?
Yeah.
You never know. Colchester are already taken down Spurs and...
Yeah.
Who else did they knock out? They knocked out Spurs and Crystal Palace.
Okay, sure.
Well, Man United seem to be like Robin Hood, don't they? At the moment, they get, they take from the rich and give to the poor with their points.
yeah. Being all the big teams. Yeah. But no, we were all right. And also, once the early goal went in, experience was always going to prevail, you know.
And yes, Liverpool put out a youth team, but as I mentioned to you before we started filming, the history books will say Aston Villa 5, Liverpool 0. We're not going to be, in years to come, we're not going to be looking at what squads went out. We're just going to say that in that season that Liverpool probably win the league, they were still beaten 5-0 in the Carabao Cup.
It's like Aston Villa's second string. Yeah.
It's like when Adrian Durham brings up the Invincible season ago. Arsenal lost to Middlesbrough twice in 2 different cups. They went out of 2 different cups to Middlesbrough. Just remember that, yeah.
Oh, really?
They're not unbeatable. They weren't unbeatable that season. Like, you make a fair point, but we didn't lose in the league. But
No, absolutely.
That'll be it. When Liverpool do an unbeaten season, I hope they don't.
Completely unbeaten.
We'll go. Remember they lost to Villa though, 5-0 in the cup. Oh, what was all that about?
I mean, a lot of people have a thing with Liverpool. I think, obviously, from the days in the 80s when they were really good. I think there's a lot of grudges against Liverpool. People don't want Liverpool, even though they've never won the Premier League, and a lot of people like a new team to come in and win it just to mix it up a bit. Most people that I know would say, "Oh, I hate Liverpool. I don't want to win anything." Whereas, from a Spurs fan's perspective, I actually do want Liverpool to win the league, and I want them to be unbeaten because I want to sort of push Arsenal into full irrelevance. When it comes to-
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Dedication.
Look, someone's got to contest that unbeaten record, and if it is Liverpool, fair play. I've always had a soft spot for Liverpool.
Yeah.
But I still don't want them to win the league.
No.
I want to see them get really close and then Leicester nick it. It would be amazing.
Yeah.
I think everyone wants
I have to
that.
say, when I think it was, they went really close to invincibility at one point last year, Liverpool, and then they got beat by City. And I remember Piers Morgan putting a tweet up saying, "You're good, Liverpool, but you're not invincible." Which, to be honest with you, did make me laugh because he just makes me laugh. He's just a Piers Morgan. He's just a funny guy.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's also the least liked Arsenal fan I could name. Like, you're going to talk about famous people who support Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal fans don't get behind Piers Morgan, so let him say what he wants. Sorry.
We got Tom Hanks, come on. But anyway.
I'd have Tom Hanks in a heartbeat.
Can I ask one question about that? Is, you know, you got the Leicester and Liverpool game that will be coming up in a few weeks.
Okay.
Do you think they'll derail them? Do you think they'll be the team that will beat them?
Liverpool are too good. Liverpool
strong.
are way too good.
Even for
the bubble will burst, and I want to talk about that in a bit, but it's not going to happen this season. Probably won't happen next season either, you know. So it's that cliche, isn't it, to say that something's won by Christmas, and it's a big controversial or even stupid sometimes thing to say, but really, has it ever been this clear? Or has it ever been this clear of a team that just looks so secure, so solid under that kind of...
I'm pretty sure that,
you know.
sorry to interrupt, I'm pretty sure that City did overturn the same amount of points this last year as what they've got now. I'm pretty sure that Liverpool were ahead by at least 9 points last year. And
they had a terrible run in January for everybody, didn't they? Lots of draws, and you're going...
You know, Leicester have got more points now than they did at the stage of their title winning campaign.
It's a better
Liverpool are
squad,
just
isn't
so far ahead, you know. Anyway, alright, what about you guys? So, we're all here looking at the sort of mid-season, more or less. Let's go Arsenal, what's going on?
Where do you start, Biils?
Is that Marvin Gaye asking that question?
What's going on?
But no, really, like, so we're looking at Mikel Arteta apparently. What do you think about that? 'Cause it's you're in a bit of a position. Do you think an experienced guy in any form management?
Well, first of all, like, not even that, but what do you think of Emery leaving and then for him to come in?
Well,
Like,
sure, yeah, the whole Emery situation.
As me and Joe did discuss before the camera went on, Emery was lucky to keep his job for this start of the season. End of last season was atrocious for Arsenal. Like, we should have got top 4. We should have. Do you remember the end of last season? Like, did Chelsea want it? Does Spurs want it? Does anybody want top 4? No one wanted it. Just throwing games away, and we had the easier run and we threw it away. So I was surprised Emery kept his job after that. But after the summer transfer window, you kind of feel like, well, Arsenal spent in places we talked about, apart from centre back again, always centre back.
Hey, David Luiz, no?
Bought an 18-year-old. When we don't want him just yet. You can go back on loan. Come in next season.
Yeah.
And then I'm just surprised he kept it. I'm really surprised he kept the job as long as he did. And I think Freddie coming in as an understudy is okay for a time. If I'm going to be honest, it depends which hat I'm wearing. My ruthless hat goes, just get Ancelotti. He's a proven winner. Yeah. He'll sort the defence out, which is what needs doing. Whereas,
do you know where he's going though?
Everton, yeah.
You need a Mourinho. You need a Mourinho more than
Yeah,
anyone.
sadly.
What do you mean money? You've got money. Kroenke has just put £1 billion now from the loan into the new stadium at the LA Rams.
That's the other
Where's
problem,
your money?
isn't it?
Where's your money at? No.
I just think
weird, isn't
I think
it?
if like I've heard a lot of people say, if Arsenal were truly ambitious, they would have gone for a ruthless appointment. Like I think an Ancelotti is way more driven. Someone with that record.
Benitez.
What's his buyout?
Oh, I heard
It's crazy. He's got a crazy buyout for his Chinese club.
million,
It's
50
mad.
million.
So you just go, it's not going to happen. I like the idea of Arteta, but if you'd have given me Arteta at the start of this season, I think I would have gone with it more. But now,
He has the summer to work on it.
yeah, I'm like, he's got to build around what we've got, and I still go, we are missing. Arsenal was 3 players short of a team, and at the minute, it's just the defenders. It's just
I just
woeful.
don't understand though. When you mention Ancelotti, I don't understand what's going on at Everton. Is there something going on at that club that we don't know about? Because from an outsider's point of view, they're right down the bottom of the league, just hovering above the relegation zone. Richarlison signed a new deal when Marco Silva was still in the job and they were hovering above relegation. And now Carlo Ancelotti, one of the most decorated managers in European football history, now wants to come manage Everton when he probably could have had the Arsenal job. What is going on at Everton that we don't know about?
United if Solskjaer leaves or whatever. I mean, he's actually, despite his success, everyone knows about his success, but he's still really underrated manager.
But all I've ever known of Everton, so I know we're not really here to talk about Everton because none of us support
Well,
Everton.
It's all
All
fun. Yeah,
I've ever known about Everton is that they've got such a small budget. Everyone always talks about David Moyes, what a great job he did with no money.
Yeah.
So why is it that Richarlison signed to do Ancelotti's joined? Is there money at Everton now that?
Well, they
that
have
is
Liverpool
well,
making
like-
all the money.
They
So
did have a busy
they
window,
give it to
though.
somebody else as well.
Right, you remember when they
know,
bought
like-
Richarlison?
Charity.
They did have a busy window when they got Sigurdsson, Pickford,
Walcott.
Walcott as well. Then they went ahead and got Iwobi for quite a lot of money. Actually,
Moise Kean.
because- yeah.
Yeah.
But have you
So there
noticed?
is. I know what you mean. Something's coming in, but like the same. It's the same people are there that were there 10 years ago.
Yeah, but it hasn't worked out for
Is
them.
it not the?
So they just decided it's time to.
Is it not
start
also
throwing money
the
around.
guy Usmanov? Is he not in? Because Usmanov was never like Usmanov sold his shares to Kroenke, so Kroenke had full control of Arsenal. But he's mates with the Everton owner, so I always wondered whether he was going to go.
Okay.
I don't know if that's. I don't know.
He did go to buy some shares somewhere. I can't remember where it was.
I think it might be
I don't
Usmanov
know.
money as well.
Possibly.
So okay.
But do you think any manager looks at Everton? I think we should talk about Everton. So any manager look at that team and go, "There's some good players in that team. There's just-
Absolutely.
there is some quality players." At the start of the season, everyone's going, "They'll be contesting top four. Not they're going to be nearly relegated."
Yeah.
I mean, there are parallels with when I look at Everton now to the Spurs team of like 10 years ago when we had the likes of like Modric and Defoe, Keane, Jermaine Jenas, and we had good players in the squad. But we were sort of like languishing, sort of like lower mid-table. And I remember Harry Redknapp came in and was like, "Wow, I can't, we've got players here that should be contesting for stuff, and they're not." And I always felt like Everton for quite a few seasons now has been like a project that's never quite taken off.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be buying into it. I remember Walcott mentioned about Wayne Rooney. He spoke to Wayne Rooney, and Wayne Rooney convinced him that this was a great project and he should come. Wayne Rooney obviously was just there twilight of his career, one last season at his
He
boys'
wears their
club.
pyjamas.
He wears the pyjamas, yeah. But he said to
How can you trust
Walcott,
a man like that?
he said, "Oh, come to Everton," and it really does seem, as I said, like a project that just hasn't quite taken off yet. People buy into it, but it's just never worked for whatever manager.
Well, imagine the seemingly unthinkable happens and they got relegated. Unthinkable, but
Very-
the team
very
would
possible.
just get picked apart. Imagine going in for Sigurdsson, Richarlison.
And they're
Even
talking about
Arsenal
building a new
could.
stadium. They had a big meeting a few
can't see
months
it.
ago. I don't know if you guys saw that a few months ago. They had this big meeting at Everton with the architect who designed their new stadium. Right, it's going to be like on the docks.
Yeah.
And they have everyone there. And they were showing all these pictures and stuff of the stadium. And I just
Come here, you're alright.
I just wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, go on then.
We'll just do drone filming, so if you're interested in getting a drone filmer, come on, have you guys.
Drone filmer.
Yeah.
Drone footage.
Would that be
Not quite there yet. Have you got a card? I'll take one.
All right, here we go. Yeah.
Check out Hector Drone at hwm.me.uk. Okay.
You know what?
Yeah, man, that's
Good
pretty
If you
marketing.
need a
Why
drone
not, right?
cameraman and drone pilot,
This is
I've seen your name is Hector.
Yeah.
There we go. Hector
Oh,
Sam.
mate, nice one.
Yeah, good work.
I will keep that.
All right, so let's talk about United then.
Do it.
So come on, everyone was thinking maybe even less than a month ago, even there.
Are you asking me?
Absolutely. That it was time for Solskjaer to go for the club to sort of accept it. However, has he turned it around? Are two very, very good results enough to turn a guy in his position's job around?
I can answer that. This is brilliant because you can say the same thing about Duncan Ferguson.
Well, he's only just started.
Yeah.
But you look at that confidence, you look at the way 2 games, he's not lost a game since. He
Imagine
did really
being,
well at Old Trafford.
imagine being in a dressing room with Duncan Ferguson if you're losing at half time.
We're talking about Man United, but what he did to Moise Kean,
What do you think about that then?
I don't buy it.
He obviously wasn't.
You don't buy it?
No, I don't buy it.
it's not
You don't think
fair.
his whole thing, he wasn't following what he'd been. You got the picture, you can do this, and he didn't
but
do
listen,
it.
listen,
No, that I believe. I don't buy his excuse that he was just doing it to waste time. I think Carragher on Monday Night Football showed clips of Moise Kean. I watched this where he showed that he wasn't like tracking back or he wasn't sticking to his position.
Can I just say something though about
Go on.
that? Yeah. They put him in a defensive position when he came on.
Well, like
He was playing.
defensive forward.
He was
like
playing a
pressing,
position that he doesn't play. He's a 19-year-old lad.
Bit of
I
tough
mean,
love's necessary, but you can't be
18
bullying. You
minutes
can't be
and you
bullying
pull
a
him off,
teenager. It's true.
and then you don't speak to him when he comes off, and then you say, "Oh well, it was
I think
just a
he
waste
was following
time."
instructions.
Yeah.
And if you did pull him on for 18 minutes and you had to take him off, how embarrassing is that as a manager?
You could take any other player off effectively and waste that time.
So where's the
same
criticism
way, you know?
from him for putting him on and then taking him off after 18 minutes? That's bad tactics from a manager.
Well, in some ways it's like admitting a mistake though, you know. Mourinho's
big
actually done that
mistake.
before. He made 3 changes
Where's
at
Keogh-
half-time once at Chelsea, didn't
But
he? And that
where's
was his way
Keane's-
of admitting
Yeah.
mistakes. It's about
Yeah,
the closest
yeah,
you get
yeah,
to Mourinho
yeah.
admitting something
Thank you,
like
sir.
that.
Cheers. Where's Keane's mistake though? He's only been on the 18 minutes. Like he's been played in the
Well,
position he
sure.
ain't on. I know it's very hard, but let's talk back again about Man
Hang on,
United.
we're just going to rename this the Everton the Everton vlog. That's what we talked about.
There we go. Thank you, mate.
That's because it's just good, thank you. That's just because United just faced Everton, a game that a lot of people would have backed you for a win. I'll put you down for a draw.
But you've got next.
But we're not going to win. We're going to we'll go.
Why do you think that?
Because we've got a terrible away record.
When I looked at
you
the
only won once, didn't you?
when I looked at the table earlier, I was, I noticed that United are actually now in 6th place. You're only 4 points off the top 4. Solskjaer's just got 2 massive results.
Yeah,
Now,
let's
I'm
take
not
a look
going
at
in
the,
and saying he's going to do it. What do you think?
Let's take a look at the league table here. What do you guys make of it?
Well, I'm asking about this top 4 race here because Spurs and United managed to turn it around and get themselves close. I mean, what have you got? You've got sort of... They're not thirds because you've basically got Liverpool running away. If you're generous, you've got Leicester and Man City in there. But in reality, no. And then how many points separate everyone until,
Well, that's
15th place? You know, there's really not much in it. And then you've got the relegation battle. Unfortunately, Villa are going to be in this, but we're not on Villa yet.
And as much as I think Arsenal are outsiders to get in the top 4, only 7 points off.
Really?
But I think we're massive outsiders.
Spurs are
Only
the-
7 points off and we're 10.
Spurs and United have flopped massively already this season, but they're 5th and 6th and they're perfectly in
But
touch
the,
with
only,
this
re-
Villa, you
the
know.
only reason we are where we are, though, is that we finally took advantage of one of Chelsea's many defeats that they've had in a row. And it very much reminded me of the sort of back to kind of the Andre Villas-Boas days. There were so many times we were just outside the top 4 and one of our rivals would drop points and we wouldn't take advantage. That's exactly what happened when we went to United.
Leicester as well, actually. You dropped off really early when Leicester won the league. I remember this too.
But
In fact, Arsenal ended up
Leic-
second. Yeah.
Leicester beat us 1-0 at the Lane, and I think if we'd won that game, it might have been a very different story.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
But I just feel like we've just been really lucky that Chelsea have been so consistently poor the last sort of few games.
So what happens with United then? Do you think you can actually break the top 4, or do you think Solskjaer is going to be the one to take you forward? Is the mood changed? What?
Can I add a new thing into the vlog? The fact that we might have bought a Haaland from RB Salzburg.
Wow. Okay.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Really?
Apparently, yeah. There's a photo, and this is still controversial right now on social media, but I believe it's a real thing. And the reason why is because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had a meeting with the player at his house.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you do that? What, for a cup of tea? I mean, look.
I think they're exchanging pyro.
No, but he managed him, Mulder, right? Okay, that was in Norway. The guy's from Norway.
Yeah.
He's a young guy. He's got one of the best records in the Champions League this season so far.
And his dad's career was ended by a Man United player. If that doesn't do
love
it,
that
I don't know
fact.
what.
It hurts, but it's a fact.
No, I'm with you. And of course, it's a good shout for to prove his career.
There's a lot to be said about countrymen wanting to play with people from their country.
Well, yeah,
look how
yeah.
many RGs Pochettino
Yeah.
bought.
I really
Yeah.
feel it's a Ole Gunnar Solskjaer
Ferguson
signing.
and Scots as well, actually.
Do you know what I'm saying by that? But it's really something that he signed in. I don't know whether necessarily anything that he signed in recently is from him, it's from the board. But I think this sounds like his
signing.
input.
So
He
it is-
said, "This is the guy I want." Why? I know him. He's from Norway. I've managed him before. He's doing great in Champions League.
Makes
Check
perfect
your
sense.
tactics.
He did directly manage him before. He actually used him in that one team, or
Yeah.
at least at the youth system.
Yeah,
Is he
okay.
like 19 or something?
He's not
Very
in
young,
the
but
Champions
he's
League.
got the record.
He's got a
that
good few goals in Champions League already.
Ridiculous. It's like
absolutely
7
terrible
goals,
as well.
something like that. He's got more goals than he has played games.
Do you think that him and Delic were created in the same laboratory? Because they're both like really young and just like huge, aren't they?
Yeah,
You know, they're
Delic's
they're like-
quiet, isn't he? You don't hear much about
Well, kid as
Delic's
well,
game
to be
at
honest.
Juventus.
Yeah,
The
he's
same as
big boy,
Ronaldo. He's kind of gone off to squash, isn't he, with Juventus this year. He's not getting as much as he used to. He's kind of slowed down. But he will do, won't he? He's at the end of his
Ajax, and now
career.
he's at one of the biggest teams in Europe.
But what about the original question though? Is it Solskjaer At this stage, I'm not going to hold you to it at the end of the season. What do you think? Is he going to carry the team through the rest of the season, possibly into the one after, or is it poch at this point? You know?
I think it should go to the end of the season, see how we do. I think it's unfair on him, seeing as he came in after Mourinho and took it on, because he did take it on.
Is that the job just over a year now, right?
There wasn't anybody else. There wasn't anybody else, was there?
Just over a year? Was it just before
actually? It
Christmas?
was just before Christmas.
How long
yeah.
has Solskjaer been in,
That's a
man?
good point, actually.
So he's not done a full. This is now nearly a full year for Solskjaer.
So it'd been a year from just from
yeah,
now.
probably about now. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. From it was December time,
That's a
wasn't
good
it?
point. That's actually not.
So everybody was like, "This is a great Christmas present."
For a guy that people were dubious about his appointment, because of his previous record only being a stint at Cardiff. I know he won. I know he won stuff in Norway and he did amazing there. The Premier League is a different kettle of fish, but I'm with you. Let him see out the rest of the season.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
You give him a contract like that, and you give him that boost that you gave him when he first started. You've got to carry it on.
If you miss out on top 4, or no, if you miss out on top 6, you
go.
probably won't. Got to go.
It's an odd thing with Man United, though, isn't it? Because people were, like other pundits and stuff in the media were saying, they weren't surprised that Man United were going to drop points against Everton because they generally drop points off the back of a big win against a big club. But if you look at the teams that Man United have beaten this year versus the ones they haven't, they've beaten Leicester, they've beaten Spurs, and they've beaten Man City.
And they drew with Liverpool.
And Arsenal.
And Arsenal. But
How many teams?
But past time, like
How many teams have taken points off Liverpool this season?
nobody has. They're the
United.
only
Man
ones that
United.
draw.
Man
more.
United.
they're the only team that draw.
They're the only team that haven't
They've
beaten.
won.
They've won every other game.
We should
That
have
was
won that.
almost Villa. That
16
was
wins
5 minutes
and
away
one
from being
draw.
fucking Villa.
Yeah.
Sorry, swore.
Yeah,
That's all right.
All right. Well, all right. What about
We've got to
Spurs?
ask about Spurs.
I was going to say we're round to Spurs now, and
Finally.
I don't feel like we said
I
anywhere near
just
enough
say-
about Arsenal, by the way. Did you even really touch on the Arteta stuff? Because
We'll go back to it.
Yeah.
But we want to say thank you for wearing the Christmas jumper.
Oh yeah, no worries.
All right.
Carry on. We don't want to talk about Arsenal right now. I'd rather talk about Spurs. Come on.
Let's
All right. Well, it's Mourinho. Mourinho is basically the talk of the town. So I'm off camera. Mourinho is basically the talk of the town with Spurs. So what's going to happen? How is Mourinho going to work with this team, with the system they're already using, or is he going to change it? Like, he's dropped some massive hints about changing his own personal strategy and philosophy, but is he talking about his man management, which has seen him kick off, with players there?
Yeah,
Chelsea,
I feel a little
etc.
bit like Mourinho has. I think when a new manager joins a club, generally they rotate around until they think they've found the perfect 11. What Mourinho seems to have done is he seems to have picked his first 11 straight away on the basis of players that he wanted to sign when he was at Man United. So he liked Eric Dyer, he obviously likes Harry Kane, Alderweireld, and Dele. So he just plays them all. Now, I'm not an Eric Dyer fan, personally. I think he gives the ball away a lot. I don't think he's as fit as the other players. I honestly think he looks like he's very lethargic. He struggles in the first half of games. He looks like he's
Lay off the bacon, Eric Dyer.
Yeah, lay off the bacon, Eric Dyer. and we signed Tongi Ndombele for big money in the summer, and he's not even getting a look in the squad. He didn't even travel to Munich the other day, and it would have been the perfect game to play him in, because Mourinho's talking about, I want to experiment, because in that game, as you probably saw in the table, even if we'd won, we still would have finished second in the group. So it was the perfect game for him to experiment, and he still didn't even bring him.
He actually played a lot of first team in that game, which surprised me a hell of a lot,
Well, I think that the squad is fairly good. I think that there are certain players that will feature in, domestic cups and in the Premier League as well. But, obviously, Kane, Son, Ali, Vertonghen, none of them are. Son came on late, and maybe if he'd come on before we conceded the third goal, the result might have been different. But ultimately, Bayern Munich were just on another level to us that night. As they
Can
were
I
in the
ask
first-
you? So you say about Ndombele fighting for a big price tag, and obviously Arsenal bought Pepe for a big price tag, both from the same league. Do you think there's something about that?
In what
The fact that they both ain't doing as good,
Well,
and they both bought at the same time.
I'd make that argument straight away that Ndombele under Mourinho hasn't been given the opportunities. I thought he hit the ground running. He scored on his debut, didn't he? And he looked quite strong. Whereas Pepe has had all the opportunities and yet hasn't hit the ground running yet.
Those notes. All my notes. My precious European fixtures.
My notes, my precious.
Oh God.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Joe's laughing! The reason why we're being chucked outside.
No, we haven't
because-
been chucked out. We were recording, and people came in and sat behind the camera, and we thought we actually can't hear each other now, and we're just going to hear their chatter, and we just come outside.
And
This
we were
wonderful-
too nice to confront them about it.
We're too British.
As
Is
we're
it-
professionals, we decided to come out here in the bushes and carry on with the video.
I actually spend quite a lot of time in these bushes. I'm pretty familiar with this place.
Are you still allowed here?
Yeah,
Not
well.
ruled at you. Right.
If you spend money, you know you make allowances. That's cool.
So,
Right.
Joe, we're talking about our Tottenham, weren't we?
We were. Yeah.
Oh, yes, Mourinho.
we were talking
yeah.
about Ndombele.
Yes, about the Ndombele and
Yes. So I was
Pepe comparison.
Pepe comparison.
Yeah, both coming from France and not cutting the mustard quite yet
Yeah.
over here. But I mean, then again, you could argue that there's been loads of French players that have come
They're
over and done
different types of
extremely
mustard.
well.
You got your French mustard, your English
you've got
mustard.
the whole
They've got
grain.
different kinds of
Yeah,
intensity.
absolutely,
Yeah, exactly.
absolutely. But unfortunately, no mustard is being spread at Spurs with by Ndombele currently because
a bit lack of
Mourinho
spice.
just doesn't fancy him. And it's quite, for me as a fan, watching obviously the transfer market when we brought in Lo Celso and we brought in Ndombele, Jack Clark, similar to your French lad, went straight back to the club on loan. He's back at Leeds. So it kind of feels like we haven't signed anyone now because Lo Celso and Ndombele aren't getting a look in the team. He really fancies Eric Dyer because he wanted him at Man United, but I don't think that he's the Eric Dyer that he wanted then.
But
He
he
was-
wants
he-
Matic, didn't he? Tottenham.
I
Wanyama,
don't think that's
Matic,
happening.
and Eric Dyer.
Yeah.
Take him,
He's
take
very
him.
Mourinho player Dyer.
Yeah.
May I also comment, by the way, that due to what you're wearing, you look like, and your beard, you just look like a face and a pair of hands floating in the video.
Well said.
Thank
Like
you.
the
thank
Blue
you.
Man, like the Blue Man Group.
Anyway, so yeah, exactly. But it's the Joe Man group.
The Joe Man group.
Anyway, sorry.
Mourinho has basically come in and he's got his favourites, and I think that he, as I've mentioned briefly before, there were sort of players that they were already kind of. He wanted them when he was at Man United, and now he's got them at Spurs. And
Just Mourinho, yeah.
Yeah, come in, mate. What
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah, no, I think that's just a mixed view, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
what
I
you
guess
say?
so. Yeah.
Sorry,
Stand right there.
What's
Go
your
on there.
name? Yeah, what's your name?
Sorry, mate.
Finn.
I've seen.
You're a Spurs fan.
Yeah, I follow a lot of the fan bases.
What are you
yeah.
making of Spurs then?
Oh, well, he's done well for you all, hasn't he? He's done really, really well.
Fellow Spurs fan, you guys.
oh yeah, it's just me Spurs.
Yeah, he's done well. Do you expect long term? Is he going to do well, or is he putting up a nice front? I think he's putting up a nice front, personally.
Yeah, me and you touched upon this on a different video that we did, Matt, didn't we? That I don't necessarily think that he is a changed man. I
No,
think that he's just
no.
acting how he
Exactly.
thinks a modern manager needs to act.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And from the spell at United, and he was dismissed massively by their fans. And their fan base is worldwide, and a lot of them shut him down big
Yeah.
time due to.
Who's your team, Phil?
I'm Spurs.
Oh, you are Spurs as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. But I
That's
just
why I've got
fucking
out
Mourinho.
shot.
Yeah, I just fucking
So much
Mourinho.
Spurs love over there. That's
Sorry,
it,
sorry,
guys.
sorry. If this is a non-swearing channel, and I think I don't like him. He's done well. So you've got an element of shit. Well, actually, he's doing okay. So.
Yeah, but I do think though that when we won against Wolves at the weekend, because it's Mourinho, everyone's talking about it like it's a tactical masterclass. When actually, I think it was just a fluky victory. And I think if Pochettino was still in charge,
Yeah,
it would have been a
game
fluke.
himself.
It would have been a fluky
I
victory. But
don't-
because it's Mourinho, it's
Right.
like tactical
No,
masterclass.
don't disagree
Yeah,
with that.
perception,
Don't
public
disagree with that
perception,
at
yeah.
all. Don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
But there's interesting stuff coming on. Arsenal obviously are getting in. They're weighing up Arteta, who's the Manchester City underdog. He's kind of he's obviously not the boss. You've got Pep, but he's a stage below, isn't he? And
Yeah.
Learning from the
looking at
best,
him,
yeah.
you've got Everton as well. The Scottish guy, I forget his name, who's
Duncan
stepped up.
Ferguson.
Ferguson, who's stepped up massively, and they're looking for
lunatic himself.
Who got
Ancelotti.
sacked on Napoli?
Ancelotti,
Yeah. So it's interesting in the league at the moment, and everyone's kind of. I think you've got Man United, you've got Spurs and Arsenal, who are all fucking really tailing.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one. It's interesting in the league at the moment.
Well, I mean, I
And,
was so happy that we beat Wolves because it was finally an opportunity to take advantage. And as I mentioned briefly before, one of Chelsea's many losses they've had in a row we
Yes.
finally were able to capitalise on it
Yeah.
because we didn't capitalise against Man United, which I hope we would.
Yeah.
And in the
Yeah,
end, we
massively
played
agree with
terribly.
that. Massively agree with that.
And also, but the thing I have to say with Man United, it made me feel better when you lot went against
Sorry,
City.
you're
he's
Man
Man
United.
United.
Yeah.
Matt's Man United.
Fair enough, I feel for you, Matt. It's not great. It's not great, but it's getting better. I think Wally's doing it. I think alright.
Yeah.
I think you're alright.
I remember that 5-3. Okay.
When you beat City, it made me feel better because
That was
it's like-
massive.
It was
That was
like,
massive,
okay,
that, wasn't
we
it?
lost to Man
Right,
United,
mate.
but so
Absolutely
did
massive.
City. So it made me feel a little bit like, oh, okay, we're not so crap after all.
What do you make of seeing as you're here and give a shout out
Yes,
to
yeah.
yourself?
Sorry, yeah.
A lot of appreciation for Finn, actually.
Thank you. I'm really sorry for the viewers. If you do have viewers, then I am sorry.
Hi Finn, what do you mean if you do have viewers? Get out of here!
I apologise.
We can edit that out.
I've
We can
been
edit that
cussed
out.
massively. I'm really sorry.
Finn, what do you make of the win against Man City in
From
the
Man
Champions
United?
League last season? How do you feel about
Massive,
that?
massive. But I think Spurs and I think Champions League and I think Bayern Munich and I shut my mouth. so yes and a no.
So
Yes,
lucky though,
massive.
wasn't it?
Yes, exactly
So
that.
lucky.
And Bayern Munich really kind of like put us in our place. So
They
no
did.
comment. No comment. I think you're a Man United fan. I think I hope things will get better for you. Not sure about Ollie.
Why is it I get angry?
I feel like I'm at the doctor's.
With the Spurs game,
Do
we
I?
got battered
Do
by
I need to
Munich.
stop taking
I
it?
just get angry that we sold Serge Gnabry
Anyway.
for about 8 million. That's all I can think.
Oh, no, it was like 4 million.
what?
It was like
Apologies,
4
lads.
million.
If this is
Thanks,
good
Finn.
news to you all.
Cheers,
So,
Finn.
thanks.
Nice one.
Love you all. Wow. Good man. I don't
He's
have
a
any-
good lad. He's a good lad.
Yeah.
So to sum up
Great
the
to hear
whole
from Finn.
night tonight, so basically we've done this for a Christmas vlog, and I want to say thank you guys for helping us out
Yeah,
for
no
the last
worries.
year. We've only started in the end of April, and
we started.
yeah, and you know not done too bad, and you guys have helped us out very much. So thank you. But we were going to talk about predictions of results. You're not here. But
Yeah.
I want to ask you the predictions of where you might think you finish at the end of the season.
Each team.
That's the prediction for tonight.
We're not getting you in there,
So,
man. Come on, get in. Get
Please,
in.
Joe, give me where you think Tottenham, only on a level of thought and not actually where you know specifically think statistically where they're going to finish. But where do you think they'll finish in your mind? Fourth.
Is that what you think in your
Tottenham
mind?
fourth,
No,
top
yeah,
four.
I
top
think
four
I
for
think it makes
Tottenham.
perfect sense. I mean, if you look at the teams we're up against, you've got managerless Arsenal, you've got Chelsea with Lampard, who's very inexperienced, and already there's cracks showing there, and then you've got Man United, who you know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Don't get me wrong, he picked up a couple of good results, but they're already a couple of sort of draws to Norwich or whatever. Away from slipping out of it, and I just think that Mourinho has, he managed to finish second with, in his words, the worst Man United team ever. So surely he can finish fourth with a team full of internationals.
All right, then quickly, Joe. Who's going to win the Premier League?
Liverpool
Who's going to get relegated?
relegated. Norwich, Watford, and tough one. I don't know. I'll throw one out there.
Bournemouth. Yeah, I was having a wee think about that. All right, Carabao Cup. Do you remember who's in the Carabao Cup still?
Should see who's in it. So.
Aston Villa, of course.
Straight up. All right, FA Cup, because blind shot there.
FA Cup. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. City,
City, all right. Europa League, anyone?
Europa, Inter Milan.
Okay, and Champions League.
Champions League. Oh, Jesus, that is a really, really good question.
That's a real tough.
It's a real tough one this year. I can't see Liverpool winning it again. I don't know. Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. Wow. Okay.
How about you for Aston Villa? Where they're going to end up in the Premier League?
Man,
this
this
year,
is
mate?
getting tough to call. It really is, because we got the results and the team's blending, and we're going to get that other striker to support Wesley in January, hopefully, or Kodja will come up and do it. But got to stay positive, man. I'm going to say 16th or 17th. I think it slips by one place or two every time I say it. But yeah, 16th or 17th. We're gonna do it, boys.
That's what she said.
Hey,
So-
it's all right.
What do you think about the Carabao Cup? Where do you think you finish?
Realistically, I think City will get the Carabao Cup. Their second team's enough to win.
You won't get to the
most
final, you don't
competition.
think?
Oh, it depends what happens over the next couple of days. It's going to be difficult to beat Leicester, United, or City, but it depends how seriously they take the competition as well. A second string of any of those teams except for City, we could probably beat.
And what about the World Club Cup for Aston Villa?
Yeah.
Sorry, that'd
Coming
be in a very-
2025.
It's the
Do you know what I think,
2025 Yeah, maybe.
Sorry to break the flow, but you don't think that there's so many teams have been so inconsistent this year, besides Liverpool, in the league, and obviously Leicester have done very well. In fact, we didn't mention Leicester actually.
I've noticed
lot
it
of
for a
these-
long time.
Yeah. But when you ask these questions about who do you think is going to win this trophy, it's such a difficult answer because I can't see Liverpool winning all of the major trophies. I see them winning the league, but I can't see them winning the
They
Champions
just
League.
won that league so
Because
much.
exactly, because I think that's all their eggs are in that basket.
So I'll give you mine anyway. I think Liverpool will get the league. Relegated, I actually think it's going to be as it stands right now, which is a bit of a weak answer. But Watford, Norwich and Southampton is actually a pretty good shout. Throw Villa, West Ham and Bournemouth as possibles into that mix as well. Carabao Cup, City, like I say. Spurs or United for the FA Cup. United need something and Spurs have a serial winner in their ranks, and that's a typical Mourinho way to go about things. Europa League, for me, Inter Milan, I watched them recently and they were brilliant, and they're too good for that competition. Ajax on a sort of left field idea. And then Champions League, for me, it's City or Barcelona, you know? You say Real Madrid, they're up against City, and it's going to be interesting. Whoever wins that's going to have a real crack.
To be honest
at the
with
final,
you,
you know?
I mean, I think Liverpool are the best team in the world right now.
Yeah,
but I
agreed,
don't
yeah.
see them winning the Champions League because of all of their focus on the league. The only reason I said Real Madrid is because of their record in the competition.
And that makes
but then
perfect
they
sense,
aren't
yeah.
the same Real Madrid team, obviously.
So let's ask Dan, where do you think Arsenal are going to finish this season in the Premier League? Are you in the FA Cup as well?
Okay, so
Well, let's go for
Carabao
it.
Cup?
So Arsenal, we're going to finish 7th. We're going to finish outside the top 6. It's going to be devastating, and we won't have any European football, which might do us good for a season, a bit like Liverpool did. But you're not going to be able to bring in the players that you want to bring in. But I think there might be a rebuild that could happen next summer.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is, if you have Arteta, that's what you want, really, a rebuild.
Yeah, realistically.
Work on that youth system again.
But like I
just
said
the old days,
earlier,
yeah.
I would rather we went for an Ancelotti. But if it looks like all our eggs are in the Arteta basket, we just got to get behind him and hope like the staff at the club get behind him as well, like Ljungberg and Bold and everyone else at the club as well.
Yeah.
And
Pep
it seems
thinks
that-
very highly of him as well.
Oh yeah,
Pep
he's
picked him.
very much.
He didn't inherit him. He picked him.
Well, he had no connection to him, so
Yeah.
yeah,
he
of
obviously
course, yeah.
thinks a lot of him.
My only concern with our squad at the minute currently is that January transfer window, as Aubameyang and Lacazette, neither of them have signed new deals. I would be worried that Aubameyang would be more open to be poached up by another big European club.
I think so. There's some teams that need that striker.
So
isn't
would
it?
I sell him for some money if it meant we could then build a new squad potentially? But he has been, without his goals, we wouldn't be where we are. My other predictions, I think for the league, I would say it's probably Liverpool. I can't really see anyone else getting near them. Leicester might keep pace with them, but probably not. Relegation, I'm going to go Spurs, United, Villa. Obviously.
Excellent.
No, but okay, in all seriousness, I think Watford are doomed.
Yeah.
I think Saints are pretty much doomed.
Yeah.
Norwich?
Yeah, I didn't even listen to Spurs United. I just heard Villa and I believed it.
Sorry.
Like,
It felt so real.
yeah.
Ow, cutting to the core. No bills. I literally threw their teams in as well,
Yeah, okay.
just for irony.
I appreciate that, yeah.
I don't know. I think Norwich might scrape it. I feel like they've turned out some big games. So that third team could be a Bournemouth maybe that slipped down there, or I can't say. That's hard. That's a hard call.
They're
I
going to
think
lose
we're
their
all really-
manager, West Ham, though. That's the thing, you know.
We're all really surprised with Sheffield United, I think, as well. I don't think anyone was expecting them to do as well as they had. I thought
Fair
they
play
were.
to them.
When we
Fair play
did
to
our vlog at the start of the season,
yeah.
I
Didn't give
put
them a-
Sheffield United to get relegated.
Yeah, I think everyone did, to be fair. Fair play to them, though. Chris
think-
Wilder, great man.
Yeah,
Anybody
amazing
ask me
manager.
about my...
Hang on, I haven't
We'll
finished.
get there, we'll get
I haven't
there.
finished.
Oh, hang on. Whoa.
Hang on. League Cup, Colchester United. FA Cup, Wrexham.
You love an underdog
Yeah,
story.
there we go.
He loves it up the Wrexham. Way!
Europa League, biased Arsenal, and Champions League. I'm going to go Liverpool. I think they're going to retain the title.
Wow.
Yep.
Imagine.
Yes,
Imagine. All right. Go on then, Matt. United, where are they going to finish?
Top of the table,
Yeah,
mate.
you said that
We're
before.
going to win it. We're going to win the league.
All right, Ty.
They get all paid. All right.
Championship. No, hang on a minute.
Go on.
In all seriousness.
No, honestly, all seriousness, I'd like us to win it, of course, but we're not going to. We're going to get top 4, I think. We might get 4th place.
Okay.
I think we could push for that.
I think
we
if you're going to
get
be in the
right
top 4,
players
it's going to
in-
be 4th, isn't it? You're not going to
Yeah. But January. Well, Well, no, you know, like top four, like
I'm not used to being the one getting all this
Sorry,
grief. This is quite good, actually.
we're going to get top four, but we're not going to get first, second, or third. I think we are going to get fourth. We could push for
Very
third.
possible.
We've had that with Tottenham are like, we're not going to get there, and then they get second, and they thought they were never going to get fourth. You know, like it gets like that. Like, then suddenly at the end of the season, you push up a bit more. I don't know. Like,
Well, what about the rest of them? Say it. Who's going to win the Premier League, Man United fan? Say it.
Who's going to win it?
Leicester City!
Leicester are going to win the Premier League.
Come on, you foxes!
Well, they've got pedigree in that competition.
All right, who's going down other than obviously definitely not Aston Villa?
Liverpool! Liverpool going down. They
Liverpool.
cheated.
Alongside who?
Who are they going down with?
Yeah.
They're not really. Norwich are going to go down, Watford are going to go down, and probably Southampton, to be fair.
Yeah, as it stands
As it
now, I
stands,
think so. Yeah,
solid.
yeah.
That's how
Carabao.
I see it.
I'd only disagree on the Norwich thing because I just feel like they've got.
There's
Something
a
about
spark.
Norwich. You go, oh,
There's a spark in there. There is a spark.
But
in
there's
there. I know
something
what you mean,
about
yeah.
Watford
I'm
as
worried
well
about that.
now that they've got the new manager in.
No,
I don't think so.
I think
No,
they do.
He has scraped other teams out of situations like that before. I just feel that he could do.
Yeah, they ain't no Dean Smith. You
No,
know what
he
I'm
ain't
saying?
no Dean Smith.
All right, go
That
on.
is a very
So-
deep.
Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup winners.
We're going to win it.
You reckon?
That's all we can win.
But it's a good point.
let me just
Why not?
check.
Why not?
Manchester have just been knocked out by Colchester United. No,
While he's checking. Oh, he's not checking. FA Cup. Blind shot because no one hasn't really started yet.
Well, might reach the final. I'm not sure if we would win it. Semi-finals.
So who else
to
might
me,
then? Who else might?
Oh, difficult. Up in the air. I don't know. Yeah, I want Man United, not Man United to win it. I don't really know who else would.
We'll go for United then. All right. So
Just as we're recording, it is still 0-0 Man United Colchester United. Just saying.
We won't put that in.
all the good teams. No, Europa League. Europa League. I said Inter. I forgot to
we've got
mention
two
I've got
Inters.
Ajax. Ajax are my
Ajax
outside
is another shout. I
Yeah.
said Arsenal. Biased. Wolves.
I'm gonna say something really weird like Benfica.
Maybe. No.
Well, I think Benfica are looking quite good.
Yeah, they got Shakhtar Donetsk.
Another shout, to be honest.
Sporting Lisbon are doing quite good as well. Bruno Fernandes is having a really good season again with Sporting Lisbon. He's been tapped up by a lot of teams in the Premier League.
Well, aren't they always in Portugal? That's the thing, you know. It's
Well,
just a
aren't they?
hunting ground for.
Probably going to Tottenham.
Wolves.
hosting.
yeah, for Wolves. All right, finally, Champions League, Matt.
Oh,
What should we say?
that's a difficult one.
It's so hard to predict this season. Champions League.
Oh, I'm gonna
It's also
say.
hard if you're an Arsenal fan, you've not watched any Champions League football. You go, what's the Champions League? It's all about the Europa League.
Didn't watch the
guys.
final. Didn't watch final last year. Didn't fancy
Might
it.
have done.
But
Might
this
have
is
done.
the stage with the
He
Europa
thought it
League,
was
isn't
a series on Netflix to do with the royal family. I'm joking.
They call it the champion. Come on, who's winning it?
You said Atletico are going to beat Liverpool, so you're not having
I did.
Atletico to go out. All
So
the way.
I think I think Barcelona.
Barcelona. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Kim
Messi made that
Griezmann.
promise last season on the
Messi,
microphone.
Griezmann, Suarez. That's a disgusting front three.
And there's more. It's not just them. They've got plenty more in the tank as well. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they've had a couple of bad seasons in the Champions League in terms of like capitulating against Liverpool and not getting the results people expect. But if City don't get it, I mean, I'm looking at this now. I highlighted the teams that I think might have a chance. You could always have an outside bet of a Dortmund or an Atletico or. Jesus Christ, Atalanta for
Let's
the 2020 Champions League.
Let's just
go.
agree that somebody will win it.
Somebody's going to win the Champions League. I'll stick a 10 right now.
But not anyone who's not in it.
Well, you never know.
I'll stick a 10 on that as well.
Thank you everybody for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thank you to Dan. Thank you to Biils. Thank you to Joe.
No worries.
All my
You
dudes.
seem way happier about Joe than the others.
I was coming back down the line. You know what I mean? You
The
try-
final one gets a bit more.
goes down and it comes back. Okay? Thank you very much for tuning in. Please do subscribe, share, like, and follow all these guys on.
Oh yeah. So do you want to steal our Twitter handles?
If you want to.
At Daniel Michael King.
I don't have Twitter. I'm Instagram. Digital_nomad_Gmo. He's gonna put it on there.
I don't use social media. I only just watch a lot of stuff on YouTube.
So
His
check,
name's Joe.
so check
That's
him
all
out.
you need to
Just
know.
find Joe in
That's all
pubs
you need
across-
to know. Yeah.
So find
in
Joe at
Hertfordshire.
87 Cranwell Gardens.
You cut that one out. Yeah.
Why'd you give him Bill's address?
Don't go there, Bills is not there.
God, it would be a real shame. If
Thank you very much for
productive
tuning
session.
in, and please remember, this is a Christmas special. We're meant to be having a laugh and having a good time and showing you fan opinions in a pub and of our
In
own.
the outback.
In the outback.
In the jungle.
In the bloody
Who's
outback.
who's doing a bush tucker trial?
Peace.
What can you read on the sheet?
Sodden.
Right, it's done. We're
Right.
done.
Cheers.
Actually, I managed to get some info off that sheet.
This is very good. Thank you very much for tuning in,
I'm
everybody.
still doing it.
No, we've done that.
We're done.
That. We've done that. Right.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Laters.
See you later, everybody.